Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Also here the first episode without an intro because, well, gotta take it away because copyright and music and stuff. Anyways, we got a match here in the south between Zika Mrowkapl, or just call him Mrowkapl, fighting here for Germany, Deutschland, the Sperrverbande. Spindler versus North. We got here J for Jett, fighting for America, freedom and democracy, taking on the role here of the 1st Infantry Division. We got Panzerfaust Infantry Ostrom versus Ostrom Doctrine versus Tactical Support Heavy Cavalry and Armour Company. Very sort of standard setup there with grenades and infantry bullets here for J for Jett. With the double rifle start there, as we can see here, Mrowkapl is going for an MD-42 Ostrom start, but also going for the Infantry Company, likely to have Panzerfaust ready for his Ostrom right away in the case needed. But I would say within the first few seconds, unless you actually know they got mechanized, you don't need it that badly. Of course, you could be planning mortars or something else to support Ostrom. We shall find out, I imagine, soon enough. With the kick moving towards the west here, MD-42 moving slightly eastwards there. Also sandbags by the cutoff point. Very solid choice there by Mrowkapl. And we can see J for Jett here moving down aggressive to the right hand side with riflemen, reactions, more riflemen arriving there, perhaps moving to head up the centre for freedom and democracy. Come on, Carl, let's spread some democracy. Is that what we're all about? I thought that was later on. I don't know. I don't read history anyways. Quick barbed wire here to deny cover. MD-4 up to cover the centre. Ostrom moving westwards there, and we got Ostrom moving further up there. The western side of the map, from there coming into fire from the MD-42. Bursts of glorious German munitions streaking at them like lightning that is German, and thusly better than regular lightning. Third rifle squad there for J for Jett. Try saying that one 10 times fast after you spent an entire day searching for replays, which is what I've done. That's going to be great. Anyways, rifle flanking in against the MD-42 team, which is quickly forced to reposition to deal with this newfound threat on the right flank. Rather than they're slightly still suppressed, Pioneers could try and close in, they're preventing them from getting unsuppressed. But in this case, looks like Mrowkapl decides that it's not. Oh, never mind, the rifle should have very politely get in there. No, never mind. Still up close here. They're low on health. The Pioneers might have a tiny chance. Maybe they had the bulletin where they make them slightly high. No, close here, very close. We got Ostrom pushing back the rifle in there, but there you go. Pioneers push back with the rifle, and also the side is, you know, there's safety in not getting shot at. We got no take up here for Mrowkapl yet. He could also go for more Ostrom. He could go for mortar to support his men. And then we got J for Jett there going for the ambulance. Realizing his men need some first aid. None of that socialized first aid. Good old American first aid, which means you get a beating and told to suck it up.
The capture point is being overrun.
That's why they got the pistols, by the way, those medics. They're to pistol whip the men back into good health. Grabbing the centre victory point, and then moving up to grab the eastern munitions. Continue fighting here between the Ostrom and the riflemen. Back here, nothing further going on. We've got take up there from Mrowkapl and the Sperrverbande, or Kampfgruppe Spindler. Ostrom there blasting away here. From where they come, who knows? Could be Luftwaffe troops, I suppose, in this sense, or just some Hilfswillige from supply units pressed into the fight against the armies, realising that if they don't fight, they'll likely just be sent back to Stalin. Won't be doing very nice things to them, which is, by the way, what happened to all of the Ostrom that initially surrendered, for example, in Normandy to the Americans. They very sort of nicely handed them to Stalin, but then very nicely moved them to the gulags. So very nice of the Americans. And it's generally not one of the things you hear so much about at all, but that very much happened. And he's got reactions there versus Ostrom. We got Pioneers flanking against the reactions here. Continue fighting here. 2 Ostrom squad holding up. And we can see sort of the initiative with the Ostrom again has managed to gain nice map control here versus J for Jett. His 1st infantry struggling here with the sneaky maneuvers of Mrowkap's Ostrom. We got like the mechanized company going up there for the fatherland, Germany. Pioneers are gunning down the reactions up close to the MP-40s, making short work of the Americans. It's a great coach, nothing against the might of their Schmeisser, which was something the Allies colloquially called it, since Schmeisser, though, in actuality had nothing to do with it. It's just, if I don't mention that, someone's going to say, you know, but it wasn't actually made by Schmeisser. I know, but, you know, colloquialisms back from then. I like using those. It's just, you know, they're less fun to use at the same time if I have to constantly point it out because someone, well, you know, wants to be right. You know, no matter the cost. Anyways, grabbing the eastern viewpoint here with the Ostrom. Denying it to J for Jett and his American antics. Lieutenant moving up here with a BAR and a Thompson. And there we go, we got a forward ambulance. Actually noting J for Jett is using his ambulance aggressively versus his opponent. I like to see that. And we got a 2-2 on the way here for Mrowkapl. Probably on seeing the lieutenant, of course he figures, my god, he's gonna hit me. This M20 or this, I need to get my leichte Panzerspeerwerk in 222 to counter it for Germany. Nima moving up decent here. Again, we can see Mrowkapl here is very solidly handling his Ostrom here in the early game. J for Jett is struggling to keep up with the rapid blitzkrieg-like pace of his Eastern European echelon troops. Yeah. Anyways, 2-2 rolling down there. Like the Panzerspeerwagen, got the M20 on the way here for J for Jett. And he will soon find himself met with the might of the 2-2, its coaxial machine gun and the autocannon tearing into the Americans, finding that the uniforms, understandably, offer no cover against that, or protection. But was that anti-tank mounts going, not anti-tank mounts, S-mounts going up here around the eastern victory points again, slightly tired. Basically patch hit. I had sort of completely managed to sweat out as a patch hit again. There's just, there's just been this huge period with no patches, and all of a sudden it's only, ramp up the patch income. I'm like, oh dear, I have to struggle with it, keep up with that all of a sudden. And I actually had a good fight, I had prepared for today, and that one got wiped. So there's also a bit of disappointment on that one. So it's just been searching all day, trying to find something that could match it, and then slightly had to lower my standards. Not to say this match doesn't have some good punching, but it's not quite what I was hoping for. But still, I think it has some good elements. We've got a half-track here. And note, by the way, he's not immediately upgrading to a flame for a half-track. He's only going to use this to reinforce his Ostrom, because here's the fun thing. Ostrom reinforcers, if you notice there, very, very, very fast. Meaning a half-track supporting Ostrom means that Ostrom are even more difficult to deal with. Plus, of course, allows him to sort of support weapons. So in this case, the MD40 is of little use because of the shrubbery. Always pay attention to shrubberies. If they block your weapons line of fire, they don't really serve much of an actual purpose. Other than being pushed back, to doing the Ostrom supporting, might want to learn to support fight infantry, but overall, Mrowkapl here fighting on again, still maintaining good map control with your Ostrom here, half-track supported. He can certainly be even more of a nuisance here to J for Jett and the 1st Infantry. M20 there being fixed up by the vehicle crew. Hard at work there with their blow torches they had surprisingly ready at hand there. 4 blow torches for a very small vehicle. How they fitted in there, don't ask, but I can tell you the crew before joining the war all worked in a circus. Well, one of them might have been a smuggler. Anyways, Ostrom there getting blasted, but the rifle there taking even bigger blasting from the Germans. So there you go, rifle being pushed back here, back at the base. No further things going on. They could consider some panzer, but then again, all the Ostrom is constantly reinforcing in part due to against occasionally plays in the not very good position. This actually beating of manpower, so can't say go for some other things to support, like, Panzer Grenadiers, an officer. But I also think one thing to do is actually going for bunker now, which is a bad idea, but also some telemann prepared for, more light vehicles, right, catch up any M20s that might, sneak past. But otherwise, S-Mine is good. Also, what's noted here, what J for Jett is also, hitting the flanks here, so even is keeping Mrowkapl occupying the centre. Now I've got a mortar as well here. He's also outmaneuvering, trying to sneak past and hit Mrowkapl's softest spots, forcing him to either, pull back from the front line, which again he's pressuring, or, risk, getting cut off from behind. So that's actually a very nice move here, I think, by J for Jett. Very tactically astute here. Very tactically astute. And so far, Mrowkapl is not reacting to this too much. He got to Pioneer and actually wiped out here, which replaces immediately with more Pioneers. Nazi Panzer Grenadiers. We've got an M42 affecting the flank there. Actually, not bad. 2-2. Half-track here, fighting with the Americans in the centre. Ostrom there supporting as well. More reinforcements here. They're close being wiped out, taking heavy fire there. J for Jett just sacrificed another reaction squad for democracy and freedom. MD42 not moving too far. But there you go again. Just further and further getting behind Mrowkapl here with the lieutenant now, in fact. He's barely got any map left. And again, that's just that single lieutenant unit because, again, Mrowkapl has been too preoccupied with everything else. And the funny thing, he just swiftly moved down a small, mobile battle to deal with it. Probably dealt with it. 2-2 almost knocked out here. M20 moving up. Ostrom fighting desperate here from around the half. Again, it's a very to an extent potent battle group. Of course, Ostrom have their limitations, in particular when they're also under fire from a mortar and they're out in the open. Again, they don't get their cover bonuses. So right now, sort of Mrowkapl here is trying to sort of push his way through a very narrow gap, and he's just getting punished out for it by J for Jett. Back here, we got Lieutenant Fett in the rear, and again, he's managed to cut off completely. He's just basically gone all the way around here, punishing Mrowkapl for his just very heavy insistence again. Punishing him for not actually having mobile assets, or he had mobile assets, not used them sufficiently mobily enough versus Jett. But then just snug up with some inches to hit him there. Ostrom then landing an excellent, taking an excellent hit from the water there. 13 kills, veterancy 2. Ostrom reinforcing past the camera cut, aiming for a more aggressive position here. Ostrom continuing to just pile up casualties, being blown to chunks. Ostrom there reinforcing. Mines bunker here. So he's defending this point. He's not defending the fuel point though, and he's certainly not defending the CoH point either. So again, highlights just the ability, the value of being able to flank. And Jett here certainly knows the value of a good flank.
Supply line just got cut off. Waiting orders. A capture point is under attack.
Grabbing the CoH point back there, but a bit late now. I think at this point, Mrowkapl should try and ease off his aggressive strategies, try and switch back to regain some map control, setting up some defensive precision. The problem is at this point, he's rather overextended his forces. Again, the Ostrom can only do so much. In with a power halfling, and he will there. The problem was, again, all of that work has been undone because Jay flanked, outmaneuvered him, basically. And again, that's also one of the weaknesses. Again, they're not very good in sort of maneuver-heavy warfare. I mean, in theory, again, with the half-tick, used him like that. The problem is, he only used to reinforce. If he used the troll to transport the Ostrom about, he might have stood a better chance of protecting this. The lieutenant, if he just rushed him, flushed him with heavy forces in one spot there, and then quickly moved on. But he didn't. Again, he got too occupied there, too greedy, and Jett is hitting hard there. And we got Rangers now for Jett, calling in a Ranger element here from a Ranger battalion to lead the way to more of Mrowkap's soft flanks. After those closing in victory 2, they've actually done, I mean, again, reasonably good work with it. It's just, there's been some elements that have been lacking here from Mrowkapl, and this is kind of what Jett is punishing very aggressively for. We've got the Ostrom moving up here, all pioneers moving westwards there, more moving here in the east with the pioneers and the likes there, and anti-tank rifle on the half-track as well. Gaining victory 2, the Ostrom there, kind of want to get better into cover here. M20 took a Panzerfaust hit. Back here, MD42 needs to get back in action as for the Fatherland as well. And needs to get the pioneers back to repair all of his vehicles, because right now he's really dependent on getting machine gun up back there. Machine and Gewehr. Otto, there's the machine and Gewehr. Alchemist. Captain out here for Jett, not rushing here for medium armor. We got grenades from the Ostrom, we got Thompson machine guns all the way there. Rifleman threatening the half track, the MD42 still not moving. Get it up there, Mrowkapl. Get it up there. You can use the half track to reinforce it. Just don't have it standing about there collecting dust. How microscopic those specks of dust might be, because it's not exactly a huge amount of time that it's passing, but still, don't let it stand there. You're not there to conserve ammunition, you're there to expend it, killing as many Americans as you can. Pack 40 following up there from Mrowkapl, but the MD42 is still not moving. At this point, it might as well be, Rodin's, the machine gunner that didn't do bloody anything. Anyway, so Ostrom against the Rifleman. We've got more points being secured here in the northeast. Again, he's doing some harassment, cutting off Jett from fuel. Good, but get that bloody machine and Gewehr out there. Los! Schnell! Come on, Mrowkapl. Ostrom keeping the right flank, he's sort of covered again, but they can't defend his CoH point here. It doesn't matter, and he could have done it with the MD42, but again, it's like there's a blind spot right where the MD42 currently is here from Mrowkapl, and suspiciously machine gun crew shaped blind spot. But there you go, like, awakening from a stupor, a dream, where there weren't machine guns ever in the world, specifically MD42s, leaving Mrowkapl deeply in tears. He awakens and finds MD42s do exist, and he can turn them against the enemy. And lastly, Mrowkapl suddenly starts to do better as well. All of a sudden he can push the enemy back from the edge of his base with the miracle that is the MG42. If only Mrowkapl had realised this sooner, he wouldn't be with the enemy at the end of the entrance to his base. I mean, it can of course happen for the best, so just forget about a unit, but it's just forgetting about an MG42 is pretty hard. In particular, he has to use it somewhat actively. I mean, that's kind of like forgetting to breathe. And also note here again though, Jett, very aggressive player, uses ambulance very aggressively. Most American players will never use the ambulance like that, but again, Jett did so, and again that further allowed him to really just strangle and throttle Mrowkapl within his base. I mean, that is some really solid A-grade American play over the ambulance. That is some terrifying stuff. Pack 40 then knocks out the M20, lighting up the fuel, leaving it a burning hulk. Lieutenant there being immediately suppressed by the MD-42. More rapping again, more cutting off again. Very good stuff there by J for Jett, keeping his eye on the balls. Many balls juggling about there. J for Jett might also work in a circus before the war. He might still do. Who knows? I don't. And again, now note how far the half-track can actually reinforce it. Veteran 3 again, a really good half-track again, you know, can really give you some edges there in the battle. Though, of course, the steward is pretty working hard there to deny Mrowkapl there his half-track advantages. Need to get the Pack 40 a bit further up there. MD-42 doing what he can against the riflemen, tearing into them like a bunch of angry Germans wanting to tear into something. Another ambulance there for Jett to replace the one lost in service of liberty. And there we go, rifleman annihilated, cut asunder in a burst of illuminescent and incendiary weaponry. Ostromir covering these pioneers being pushed back, Bunker there close to being knocked out. Sadly again, Mrowkapl never laid down any teller mines, so we see the student now being able to operate a lot more freely is rather costing him in that department. I mean, at the students they've been caught by teller mine, that probably been pretty good. The hell at the M20 been caught sooner by teller mine, that'd been pretty good. So in that regard, Mrowkapl having plenty of munitions, rather I think failed to utilise it fully here versus J for Jett. But again, he's slowly pushing back again, all supported by the half-track. Almost got the Stewart there. Rangers though, Rifleman there being quite a thorn in the side of Mrowkapl, but then he's fighting back. He's fighting back pretty impressively though. I mean, he is nonetheless pushing back here. J for Jett, furiously, aggressively, with zeal, some zeal. And up those they go, arf, arf, you know, with flippers and everything, you know, proper zeal. Anyways, hunting down here the Stewart with the Pack 40. We can see Mrowkapl here is very determined to knock out that, you know, olive greenish bastard. And there you go. Gets abandoned. Sad here. I mean, in theory, could try and rush out a half-tech to reinforce and all that. But in this case, Mrowkapl takes, you know, the safe chance, just leaves it burning. Like a bonfire. You know, one of those really good ones where you sort of put up a lot of good literature on it and just lit it on fire. Those kinds of bonfires. Anyways, Rangers here going to flank the Pack 40 and wipe it out. Pioneers MD-42 also near staying about there. Rangers going straight for the Pack 40 and tearing into it, hitting the S-mines there, losing poor Carl and Joe. And Lenny. Of course, apparently they didn't just like Lenny. Come on, Lenny, are you a coward? Just try and step on it. It's not like it's going to hurt you. Oh God. I didn't know the kidney looked like that, or the spleen. Oh God. We'll just say Lenny went in there voluntarily. Yeah. We totally did not peer pressure him into that. Anyways, finally getting some panzers. I think someone could have helped Mrowkapl sooner, or taking up sooner as well. I mean, it's not like he's behind on fuel, but oh, he is taking up. That's good. Needs to get up support armor core soon, because J for Jett is looking like he's going to go for a Pershing soon, which is going to hurt Mrowkapl here pretty badly if he's not careful. But there you go, more S-mines, but sadly Mrowkapl doesn't quite seem to learn one of the more important lessons, which is he needs teller mines. Still, he's making good pressure again. I mean, he has, you know, damaged J for Jett nonetheless there, and the S-mines are showing also a lot there to slow down J for Jett's pressure again. It's not like, you know, Mrowkapl again is a complete idiot. You know, just stepped out of, you know, the most prestigious Italian military academy, and then of course proceeds to toss it all away. But there's clearly room for improvement here nonetheless. I mean, again, he's got some good S-mining going there. Bunker usage also pretty interesting. It's just he needs to work on his tech timing, so, you know, be more mindful of what's going on the flanks. He tends to perhaps get a bit too focused on just a certain part of the map there, and then sort of forget the rest. And that's basically what J for Jett exploits against Mrowkapl. It's going meanwhile for a 50 caliber and another mortar. Oh, good lord. That could be quite painful there for Mrowkapl. That could be quite painful. But he needs to get up the support core as soon as possible and get out some armor as soon as possible. I mean, Stu Panzer IV could at least sort of do something there versus J for Jett. Rangers out in the army getting torn apart by the Panzer Grenadiers. At least attempt to torn apart. They're not quite having any full tearing into them yet there. Half tearing in, nope. ever useful then reinforcing the front line, so he doesn't have to retreat them. In east there, we got S-Marts going off there from the riflemen, but again, thanks to the heroic sacrifice of Lenny. Heroic. That's what the official records will say, by the way. Heroic. Anyone disputing that will be sued by the American state. Of course, allows them to quickly move in and secure the point quite easily. Ostrom there getting murdered by the 5th Cav machine gun lieutenant moving up there. Panzer is sneaking up behind us, but there again, J for Jett back at his usual harassment, flanking antics, the sneaky bastard. And once more, Mrowkapl here is struggling to deal with it, and he still hasn't taken up. He still hasn't gone for the bomber call when he clearly desperately needs it. In this case, to push back the riflemen there, they were apparently a bit skittish this time around.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
Moving westwards aggressively. Telemarch will still be good here, but primarily he should get up the support core. That really should be right now Mrowkap's like primary thing here. Meanwhile, the mortars doing a lot of damage. We've got 20 kills there. We got 1 kill in the other one. Panzer fighting against the captain in the west, moving up to scrap more territory, but again, he still needs to get that support crop. Come on, Mrowkap. Vorwärts. Tech. Blitzkrieg. Yeah, for the a bit of defensive again, but here with the double mortars, he can threaten here. Mrowkap to an extent. Of course, the Ostrom are perhaps less perturbed. Well, Mrowkap is less perturbed by their casualties, since again they're much more expendable. So it's not like it's going to be waking up in the night, tears streaming down his cheeks as he goes, "Oh no, those Ostrom, not likely, not likely." Forced to retreat. They could have laid down some S-mines first, but still, he's not teching. Mrowkap really should have prioritised teching here. Again, really, a lot of armament play can come down to how well can you tech to an extent. I mean, that's basically the good part of it is just remembering to tech. I mean, again, you have more to manage as the armament. Again, that is certainly one of the challenges. Again, I do think they need to offer more rewards to slightly help offset that, but not bloody teching for that long. We have that much fuel is a big mistake there on Mrowkap. In fact, really big mistake now that J for Jett has called in the Pershing tank through the tree lines, like they're just obstacles, which they are. They're going to send the RPs. The problem is they're not going to be much useful against the Pershing. Yeah, I think they're going to need bigger incendiary armor piercing irons for Satsing with a Flak 88. MB42 White almost got the half tack. Pershing taking hits from the Pack 40 shots, pounding through the armor. And there go Lieutenant here coming to flank again. J for Jett just a natural flanker, and it's giving Mrowkap here quite the headache. I mean, if J for Jett wasn't such, and he forgot to finish off the support requirement, but if J for Jett, I think, wasn't such a natural flanker, I think Mrowkap here would have been having an easier time. And again, it's just his natural flankiness that is giving Mrowkap here quite the struggle, quite the headache. Also in the fight against the rifleman. Looking kind of bad now from Mrowkap. Looking increasingly less likely to bounce back from that. He suffered quite a few losses, and he has increasingly not been able to deal in a sufficient damage to his opponent. Also, again, 23 kills on that mortar. Kind of feel like kind of needs a bit of an nerf again. The accuracy still. I don't know why they had to give it the accuracy of the armor mortar. That's definitely a bit of a problem. I mean, obviously, again, a lot of the kills are Ostrom, so it's not like it's a huge deal, but it does, I think, again, highlight there's a bit of an awkwardness there. Anyways, again, J for Jett very much, again, concerned and focused on cut-off points, harassment, and just constantly denying his opponent's resource flow. I mean, that is some really solid attention to what matters there from J for Jett. Really solid attention. Again, rather than, again, just wasting resources several times against that half-track group there, he just stalled it while he then went for the resource that way. Really slowing down Mrowkap's pressure and also just causing quite a bit of harm that way. So again, really solid play from J for Jett, really solid play. Again, pushing forward into the captain, who's certainly dealing with it quite nicely. He's finally got the support crop. The question is, will he be able to get something out there in time? And will J for Jett just roll over him with his Pershing first before anything happens like that? We got the bunker down there. The Pershing's 90mm gun, making very short work of it. Also, main fortress crewing here, but taking fire there. Mortars rather point blankish. Corpses everywhere. Dying men everywhere. Yeah. bunker going up there for Mrowkapl. Healing reinforcements. Pershing going down and getting the Pack 40. Shots fired. And Pack 40 finding their point blankish against the Pershing. You can soon file for keep around and actually definitely prioritize target weak point there versus the Pershing. Trying to immobilize it, get as many damage, but it doesn't, fails in fact completely. Pershing gets away, almost knocked out, but still. Had he got to target weak point off, he probably could have destroyed it. You know, Panzerfaust it, further disabling it, and then just filled it with pack shots before it escaped, in which case Mrowkapl here might have a better chance of getting out, but his chances are looking increasingly not good. And he's still got a sizable force. The problem is sizable force means a lot of Ostrom, and again, the range a lot of times, but the mortars really getting landing hits at 28 kills. And again, just so many Ostrom, they're just piling up, the others just begging them for medical assistance. Help! I don't know what's happening. Everybody's dying on top of me. Help! And just still medical assistance forthcoming, obviously. Grenade off there, almost wiping out the MD-42, but not quite landing anything, and the MD-42 just wipes again. I mean, just that thing is a monster. Again, a lot of them Ostrom, again, they are easy to kill. They take actually, I think, more damage from these things, of course, again, due to how they work in terms of received accuracy, but still, a bit of a problem there for actually, I don't think they do it. That's my mistake, but still, again, highlights. It can still be pretty lethal. But again, still think you need to kind of look at the accuracy. Anyways, MD-42 being pushed back. Awesome running forward. Still no armor again. He's just been bleeding so much. He can't even go for it. In particular now again was really on the back foot. He's just pushing his infantry to the limit, which is just further taxing Mrowkapl, and more importantly, he's taxing his Ostrom beyond their limits. The Panzer's there. Again, rather late to the fight, and there you go. With this, Mrowkapl realizes he's lost the fight and runs for the hills, more specifically the American-held hills, and surrenders to them. So there you go, game over, GG. A rather brutal fight there again. Some interesting tactics and some interesting counterattacks there from Jett for Jett. Mrowkapl doing up nicely again, rather failing in the tech department again, which is really vital to the Var up there. Not completely, you know, bottom of the barrel fail, but, you know, struggling to keep up there again. That's really one of the things you really need for sort of high-grade Varmut play. It is really a solid and thorough understanding of tech timings at the moment, really just to a very high degree of it. It's just, I mean, even if you've got good tactics, if you can't tech properly, you're going to run into some troubles very down the road again, particularly in the Ostrom strategy. Again, there needs to be even better teching and also better understanding of resources. In that regard, we should have Panzers up faster, we should have some tech up with armor up faster. In that regard, it sort of failed in two parts, but also J for Jett, so again, extreme flanking harassment made it further difficult there for Mrowkapl to maintain a good press, and again, further slowed him down, and that was also really well played there for J for Jett, of course. More Telemines, but also benefit Mrowkapl, more S-mines across the rest of the map. In that regard, I think it was too focused on this part of the map here, which I think was another mistake there by Mrowkapl. But again, some others good play there from Mrowkapl, but clearly, you know, again, need to pay more attention to flank, small elements, tech better. I think if you do that, also makes sense on Panzers earlier. I think would actually be, you know, a pretty strong player for this kind of strategy. As for J for Jett, pretty well played there, pretty well played. And of course, we should all remember the heroic sacrifice of posthumously promoted Captain Lenny B. Lennyford, given the Medal of Honor for his heroic sacrifice in clearing out that minefield, while of course under extreme gunfire from like 1 million Germans and a whole heavy Tiger battalion. We should all remember Lenny B. Lennyford. He was a hero we should all remember, and of course will soon be taking part in that upcoming Call of Duty World War II game. Yes. Otherwise, of course, they're being completely disrespectful to Lenny B. Lennyford's memory. Let us all remember Lenny B. Lennyford. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you had some fun with it, learned some things. If you didn't, subscribe, like, share, and comment on it. Also, big thanks to Eli, or is it Ely? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but big thanks to you for supporting the Propagandacast by donations. Most appreciated. You're allowed, of course, to do all of this on a daily basis. And of course, if you'd like someone else watching to like to do so, do consider donating as well. Links in the video description bars. Big thanks. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you know, again, subscribe, like, share, and comment on it. Consider donating. I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting episode. Cheers, everybody.